let's hop into it. How's your week going? The golf, you told me, came off a pretty nice win. Not so much on the money side, but from a bragging rights side, come off a hot win. Do you want to talk about that a little bit before we hop into sales strategy?
Well, if we're gonna start off our meetings by always using my passion of golf of how the week goes, this was a good week. I get the bragging rights have come over to my side of the equation, so I get to dig it into my fellow golf buddies this week. So what next week brings, we'll have to wait and see. But no, been a great week. Lots of fun. Always getting a few games of golf. Always nice to mix up a little bit of pleasure in your passion with your work, and it just makes life a lot more fun.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you mentioned obviously things have been busy at Marble too. I mean, do you want to touch on anything before we hop into sales strategy?
Yeah, no, you know what? From a business perspective, you know what? We're getting real close on our Clearhaven. We had a strategy session, and like any business deal, and been in many of them. The both sides of the transaction really need to keep the lawyers in check. Really need to keep them focused and get things done, because they seem to always go off on a tangent and make things a lot more complicated and difficult than it needs to be. I always wonder sometimes in people becoming lawyers if going to school takes the common sense side of it out of the equation, and everybody's so worried about what if and getting sued or this and that, and trying to take taking everything into consideration.
The same accounting mindset as well,
Yeah.
when it comes to accountants and lawyers. For some reason, I don't know why, being an accountant myself, but some reason a lot of them are trained into thinking worst case scenario, worst this, and you guys, of course, you and whoever you're talking to have a great chat, you want to do this thing, and then the lawyers start talking about whatever, and all of a sudden it becomes an issue you didn't know was a thing.
Yeah, no more complicated. No, don't get me wrong. I think it's a necessary evil, if I can put it that way. But it's just something you got to stay on top of, and when you find the right accountant, the right lawyer that that understands and what you're trying to achieve, and go forward, and it works out well. Otherwise, there's times where it's not that simple. But yeah, we're getting close. We're getting close on the Clearhaven, which we're all getting excited about, which has been front and center for us on the marketing side and on the business side for Score Up. Lots of opportunities coming forward towards us. From the operational side, we launched our integration with Salesforce. That was a big technological accomplishment for the team. So we've got it integrated into my Marble, and so it really helps with the analytical side of the sales strategy, the business development side, and the marketing side, which it's a very, very powerful platform, Salesforce, and I've never been able to appreciate it. I know how big it is, and I know how many people use it. I know it's not inexpensive to license and to utilize, but it's a very powerful tool, and everybody is very excited to have that done and be able to utilize it as part of our day-to-day business.
Awesome. Well, I think that's a pretty good update, and obviously we'll do future videos diving into a lot of that stuff, for sure. But let's I guess talk sales strategy. Want to go into, so of course, how you guys onboard new clients. How do you plan to increase that? We'll talk about the domino effect down the line. Sales strategies. Maybe we kick it off with kind of just general sales strategy. When you're talking to your team, what do you guys talk about? Is it, how can we get to this client? What do you guys go through from a strategy standpoint?
Well, from a strategy perspective, we look at different sectors of the market and and how we can help them with our products, and so we look at those, and there is a lot of referrals that come out of every sector. Like I can tell you, for example, when we issued the news release with Citadel Mortgages, well, you wouldn't believe the amount, the mortgage companies that other mortgage companies that have contacted us that wanted to utilize the same, strategy, wanted to, have ScoreUp as part of their, their solution to their clients, and so the referral side of it goes big. We're also moving more into the online side of it. We do a lot of search engine optimization. Our social media is growing, as you can see, our different stories and educational pieces that we put on Instagram, that we put on Twitter, we put on Facebook, we utilize LinkedIn. So we not only have an explainer video, but we have an actual demonstration video which has the ability to show you how it works, how ScoreUp can help you work from the credit score simulator to the money simulator to the budgets, so people can actually see what it's like. And that keeps evolving into our different pricing models and what we can offer people and offer businesses. So, it's a strategy, a sales strategy that we utilize, and it's still a trial. I'd say trial by error. Let's go try this sector and see where we get it. If we get much traction, let's go see another sector that we go, and then along with that, it's the industry reaching out to us to want to become part of the solution as well.
Yeah. So you guys kind of, if I'm gathering it, and pretty similar to a lot of marketing strategies, from a theory standpoint, identify industries that have pain points that can be solved by MRBL, put together, a video or explainer on how you solve those pain points, and then, start the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I've said, and I've become a big believer of it now more than ever. When we acquired ScoreUp last year, and then we did our work, the integration work and changing the interface, the user interface on the front end to make it more user friendly, more entertaining, more engaging. I was of the mindset when we acquired it, it was for a specific sector of the market. The people that were underbanked, the people that needed to improve their credit score because they were in the financially excluded sector of the market. But now more than ever, I'm a true believer that ScoreUp can help every Canadian. It is really broad reaching, and specifically, as we've talked about in previous segments, Jason, we're such a highly leveraged society where credit is a big part of everybody's life.
Yeah. Well, I think, at the end of the day, everyone wants to save money. If you can, increase someone's credit even by 5-10 points, obviously that makes a big difference. So you're not looking at that niche, even though do we even call it a niche? The underbanked or whatever you want to call it, the financially struggling is a huge market. Like you said, Forbes outlined it as the next $1 trillion industry. But hey, even if you're doing well, you could be doing better. And I think that's a great kind of product to offer, one that really anybody can use. So that's fantastic. And I guess this kind of goes into the next kind of path or next question. We talked a little bit about the theory, the strategy. So similar-ish question, but so what's the plan? How do you guys onboard, new companies, new clients? So, when you're looking for mortgage companies, for example, give me the strategy that people, might want to know. You just Google mortgage companies and scroll through a list, or how do you find these people? Because at the end of the day, how do you start the conversation?
Sure they do. I mean, we try to, we utilize our strategy to go to the place where we're going to get the largest impact. For example, Citadel is one of the largest brokerage companies in Ontario. So there, we're going to reach a large number of clients. You'll be seeing some news releases coming forward where, we're reaching out to digital entities online that have hundreds of thousands of visits per month that are seeking credit. So rather, going to those type of people, which will inevitably give us the most cost-effective way of developing and engaging with them. Once we've been able to engage with them, we really we're easily adaptable to help them in what works best for them. Is it best to be a private label solution that they can bring in-house? Is it something that they want to offer, with them on a go-forward basis? So, but at the end of the day, we try to integrate with them so that their platform and our platform talk to each other, which makes it very seamless for the end user, which is the most important. The customer needs to be able to access the tools that are available to help them as seamlessly as possible. You don't want to be able to have to log into multiple sites. You don't want to have to bounce back and forth. It needs to be something that it's all-encompassing in the one site. And that's what MyMarble is all about, is being able to help them that way.
Yeah. Oh, and so I think it makes a lot of sense. You touched on a few things there. So you touch on, look at the bigger players in the industry. Perfect. You can do the most damage with them. So awesome. And hey, if you're able to close the bigger players, then the other people should hopefully come in, which kind of leads us to the domino effect that we want to chat about. And some people were asking, how real of a thing is that for a company like this? You were touching on before, even your previous company, that getting the first client or first couple clients is always the hardest job. And once you have the first couple, it makes the next ones fall into line. Do you want to chat about that at all in regards to Marble?
Sure. I mean, right now we've got about, I think we've got just under 20 partners. Okay. Coming on, we're bringing them on every week. We're bringing on new partners, and it's growing, and it's getting a lot easier than it did at the beginning. And we're getting bigger clients as well, with it. But it's like any in any business you go forward with. I'm a big believer in, 20% of the business always brings you 80% of the revenue. And it's like, you're not going to get the maximum amount of business out of every client you sign up, with it. So it's always evolving. The beauty about our business is not only do we have the ability to offer the B2B solution or the B2B2C solution, but also the B2C solution where people can come directly to us. So our marketing with our business partners and our marketing on our own gives the end user the ability to find us or find the product as simple as possible and as easy as possible. We're always evolving on our website, always doing search engine optimization to make sure we're high up on the search words and in the ability for people to find us or find out about us. And during these times right now, credit and financial wherewithal and is very high on the list for everybody. And people are trying to maximize how they can, stay afloat with the limited amount of money, or and not worst case scenario, not go backwards.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're finding, and so for us, it's It's a product now that is starting to really sell itself. It's very unique, and the prescriptive nature of it, which and I think you could just have to go on Google reviews and see the hundreds of people that have done reviews on the product and how we are. And how we help them I think that speaks for itself. And that probably, I know myself, whenever I'm going to buy anything or look at anything, I always go to the review section. I always go to see what people say about it. And I think that's also true for us and our products. And the more people we can touch, the more people that can say something about it, and good, bad, or indifferent. We need to still continue to learn. We still need to improve, but I believe we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, no, I think you touched on some good stuff. I mean, mortgages obviously is I guess, easy example for people to look at, and also definitely a timely opportunity if we're going to say anything. We talked last week about the fact that they require at least a 680 score to get mortgages. So definitely makes sense that mortgages, of course, are kind of the obvious answer.